we knew coming out of the half, Penn State was going to get the kickoff. So I always talk about this when you start the second half. When you get the kickoff, you obviously, as a defense, you want to try to get them out 3-and-out. And what happened? Ohio State almost gets a great break right out of the gate where somebody makes a great hit. I don't know who it was. Again, I have to go back and watch the game. I'm just trying to relive it in my head as we go. But they make a great hit on the kickoff. The ball's loose. We got white jerseys everywhere. And I can tell you guys, that scrum down there is not a fun place to be. There's people poking, pulling skin, ripping hair, poking your eyes, doing whatever to get that stuff. I've been in one of them. It's not fun, but Penn State was able to hold on to the ball. So Penn State takes advantage of that, and they're able to put a nice drive together. They go 12 plays, 58 yards, and they're right in position. And instead of taking the points, I don't know why, James Franklin must have figured I need points, but they get into a 4th and short situation. Tyleik Williams comes up huge, makes a great 4th down stop, and gets Penn State off the field. And it's a great play. Exactly what you want out of your defense in that situation. Not only do you get a stop, but you also force them off the field, and you're only down 1 point still. So as Ohio State, that's a momentum builder right there. So what does Ohio State do? After 1 first down, they've got to punt it away. So again, credit to to Penn State again defensively. They were playing fantastic, putting Ohio State in some tough spots. The run defense was outstanding by Penn State. Gave Ohio State a lot of fits. And again, like I said before, you have to tip your cap to the opposing team at times. And you knew Penn State was going to bring it, and that's exactly what they were doing. So, again, Ohio State, after first down, they're forced to punt. So they give it right back to Penn State. Ohio State's defense got to go right back out in the field. Can they get a stop? So Penn State, after a first down, and again, our defensive line, Ohio State's defensive line, you could see was starting to get some pressure on Clifford, and eventually the D-line pressure started to get home to him, and they end up after first down. They now hold Penn State, and they got to force a punt back to Ohio State. So they forced a punt back to Ohio State, and Ohio State finally gets a drive going again. They go 6 plays. They go 45 yards. Marvin Harrison with a nice catch. And how about our boy Mitch Rossi coming up with a big catch? They just left him uncovered in the middle of the field. At first, I thought he was in the backfield. I had to watch once they showed the replay. He did line up on the right side of the offensive line in that tight end position. Both tight ends released. Stover released and Rossi released. And Rossi just sat right down the middle of the field. C.J. Stroud, good read, hits him. Nice play, nice pickup for a first down. And eventually, Ohio State has to settle for a field goal, but never nervous. No Ruggles comes in and knocks down a 40-yard field goal, and it's 16-14. So, again, you look back, you hate to dwell on it, but it's been up my crawl a lot. The fact that Ohio State doesn't take the points at the end of the first half. So now it's still just a one-possession game where a field goal can get you. Because the way this game was kind of playing out, it looked like it was just going to be a defensive struggle. So it was crazy how it was playing out towards the end of the game. So to think of it this way, I'm thinking of it as, hey, just let the defense keep getting stops, and we'll figure out a way, hopefully defensively, to not let them get down. Maybe we can get a turnover again and, stretch the score out that way. Because early on, for the most part of this, for probably 2/3 of the game, it was a defensive struggle. It really was. So Ohio State takes that lead, like I said. And so what happens? You knew it was coming, guys. You just knew it was coming. I talked about it last week. Ohio State gets Penn State after a JTT sack. Now it's It's a 3rd and long, and I was just waiting for it. Clifford just goes back, pitches one deep, the arm punt, and what happens? Out comes the hanky. We got a pass interference out there that gives Penn State a first down and keeps that drive going. And as this drive matriculates, this drive was one of those drives that I could probably talk 30 minutes about with what took place during this drive. So Penn State gets the break on the PI. They continue to move down the field, dinking and dunking, doing what they're doing, a run here, a run there. And Ohio State eventually holds and has to force a field goal, which is fantastic. So Jake Pinniger comes out, and it's only a 29-yard field goal. And I called it as soon as it happened. I said, there's motion. He pushes it off to the right. So now it's a great situation for Penn State because not only does he miss the field goal, now they got a false start penalty, which kills the play. Now gives Pinniger another chance, 5 yards move back. Now, this is the what I can't understand. And I wish that it brought the analysis in from whoever was on the game. I can't remember who was on the game refereeing. So the field goal now moves back to 34 yards. He misses it again. There's another flag. They call Ohio State for an illegal formation lining up over the center. Now, there wasn't a better view than from the umpire cam. He's looking right at the center. I have no idea where they thought Jerron Cage lined up over the center. He was to the center's left, our right, and all he did is on the snap, he shot across the other gap and tried to get through that way. Now, he never hit the center. You're not allowed to hit the center. That's what I thought they were going to call was a personal foul where someone lines up and drills the center. It's a safety reason. That's why that is there. And but somehow they said he was lined up over the center. It's just incredible to me where that flag came from or where they thought that was. But the thing is the field goes off again. Now Penn State's like, screw it. We've just missed 2 field goals. We're just going to go for it now. We'll just go for it. And they line up in that T formation. They shift out of it. They put 4 receivers all the way out to the offensive left. And they line up one guy on the right. It was like a tight end, fullback, 44. Don't know who it was. But unbelievable play by Penn State. Clifford actually throwing for it on 4th down. McAllister's out there. They make a play, and it's first down, and Penn State keeps the drive alive. So the craziness that took place, Ohio State gets Penn State in 3rd and long. The PI bails them out. They end up getting into them where they hold Penn State to a field goal. Penn State gets bailed out by a false start after a missed field goal. The second time they try the field goal, Penn State gets bailed out by a flag for an illegal formation on Ohio State. And then after a missed field goal, then they go for it, get it. And what's it lead to? A 4th down play. The ball's inside the 1. I give Ohio State credit here because Allen, the running back from Penn State, because Tommy Eichenberg had him dead to rights in the backfield. It was a 3-yard loss. They were going to be able to get off the field. But Allen, strong dude for a freshman, got to give him credit. He breaks that tackle from Eichenberg and is able to skirt into the end zone and get a touchdown out of it. So now you're going to get tested, okay? Because here you are now. You're into the 4th quarter. There's 9 minutes left, and now you're down, okay? This is just like the Notre Dame game all over again. Can you come back and make plays when you need to make plays? Where are we at? Where's Stroud? Where's Ekbuka? Can they make plays? Can they run the ball if they have to? And that's exactly what happened on this series, guys. Penn State kicks it out of the end zone. Ohio State takes over on their own 25-yard line. The first play from scrimmage, I don't want to hear anyone talk about C.J. Stroud, okay? Because the throw that he makes to Marvin Harrison is an unbelievable NFL-type throw. Unbelievable, that bullet that he put on the line, right through defenders, and Marvin Harrison makes a great diving catch. Boom. Now the Ohio State's moving. Another first down. Next play, they hit Egbuka. Egbuka had been quiet all day, and he finally steps up, makes another first down catch. So now Ohio State, 2 plays, they're already in Penn State plus territory. And what do we finally get? We get great blocking up front. Stover comes down in motion, is able to get a great block, and he springs Henderson. And obviously we all know, guys, when Travion Henderson gets out in the open field, it's going to be real hard to catch him. And 3 plays later, Ohio State is in the end zone with a touchdown. And just like that, in 3 plays, in 35 seconds, guys, 38 seconds, it's 23-21. So you've got all that momentum now. Now you've got the momentum. Let's get on the field, defense, and let's make a play. And our boy, JT Tuimoloau, steps up big. He takes that right defensive tackle, basically shoves him right up into Clifford, gets his hand down, gets that big bear paw down, strips that ball off of Clifford, and Johnny on the spot. We got a break. It's laying right there for him. He's able to recover it right there. And now Ohio State is cooking once again off a turnover. So can they get the playoff or can they get the payoff? Absolutely. If you guys remember, the play very similar to the Wisconsin game. I knew it was coming. They ran it to the field side against Wisconsin to Stover. They're going to fake that handoff and roll out and throw it back. And Cade Stover did a fantastic job. And it was a great play. You wonder why it was wide open. He got lost in the wash. He just kind of filtered right out, and Stroud hit him. Henderson ran a little wheel route up the sideline, pulled some of those defenders out, and Stover makes a catch right over the middle. And I'm telling you, you got to give him credit because he broke like 3 tackles and was able to take it the distance, 24 yards, lost his shoe going into the end zone. So tremendous play by Stroud and Stover, especially after the catch and run. So all of a sudden, now you've got a little bit of breathing room. Now you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, all right, can relax just a touch. We got some breathing room now. It's a 2-possession game at 30-21. Let's get that defense going again. Let's see how Penn State reacts. Let's put this on Clifford. And to Clifford's credit, they came out, they went tempo, they made some plays, and they were able to get down 7 plays. They go 48 yards. And Pinniger, give him credit, guys. He comes out after them 2 misses, and they know they need a score. One's got to be a field goal at least. So what do? He comes out and drills a 44-yard field goal. So kudos to Pinniger. Makes the score 30-24. And now you're in a situation where, okay, there's about 5 minutes left. Can Ohio State burn enough clock and basically try to seal this game away? They always talk about in the NFL, that 4-minute offense. That's what they talk about. But can Ohio State do it? Well, Ohio State gets the kickoff. And once again, Stroud, Harrison, and just unbelievable plays, unbelievable catches by Marvin Harrison. And I was a little bit concerned the way things were kind of unfolding, because one of the things that I want to talk about in my highs and lows section is the time management. It just baffles me sometimes, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? But Ohio State ends up, after a first down, they go quick. And Egbuka, who, like I said, had been quiet for most of the game, he makes a great catch going down. He beats King, I think the cornerback it was for Penn State, and Stroud with a great pass ends up getting it in there to him at inside the 5-yard line. So now Ohio State's cooking once again, and they get up on it, and it doesn't take long, but one play, they just absolutely collapse the entire defensive right side down from Penn State, and Travion Henderson takes the handoff and goes unmolested around that offensive left side in for the touchdown. And so now you're at 37-24. And once again, you're feeling real good about yourself. Now, they wanted to go for two. Again, two suspect motion penalties there. Mustafa jumped both times back to the previous touchdown and this one, causing Ohio State to move. How that's not an offsides, he was in the neutral zone clearly, but again, the call goes against Ohio State both times, so they're, instead of going for two, they're now forced to go ahead and kick the extra point, which they do, to make it 37-24. So kick it back off to Penn State, and one of the plays of the game in the year for Ohio State. You'll see this if they're able to go down and make the playoffs and win a Big Ten championship. But JT Tuimoloau, Clifford goes back to pass. They try to cut him this time. He takes on the block, and just like a basketball player going up and grabbing a rebound, JT Tuimoloau goes right up, boom, in those big bear paws, snatches it right out of the air. He runs right into the end zone for a touchdown. And a game that where it was Ohio State down 21-16 with about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden is at 44-24, and you're like, what in the world just happened? But again, you always hear me talk about it. When an elite team, if you're elite, you find ways, you manufacture ways, and it's a 60-minute game, boys. That's what it is. And that's where you just gave the defense enough time to make a play again, and that's what JT Tuimoloau does. Goes in for his first ever touchdown, the former five-star recruit from out west. So it's 44-24. Basically now Ohio State goes into a prevent situation because really right now the only thing in doubt in this game at this point is, can Penn State end up covering the spread? So if you guys are on Twitter, I'll tell it to you right now. But go to Twitter and look at the feed when that pick happens, because it's quite funny what's happening in Las Vegas or wherever the sports book is. The place goes absolutely bananas. But to Penn State's credit, they were able to go down and stick it in the end zone and actually get the cover. All Ohio State has to do is recover an onside kick. The onside kick goes out of bounds. Ohio State takes over. Penn State has 2 timeouts left. Ohio State's able to pick up the first down, and then at that point, take a knee to get out of Happy Valley with a win.